Hey everybody, Mark Agnesi here in the back room at Norman's Rare Guitars, and it is time for another episode of Guitar of the Day. See, it's Friday. Coachella started today.
Woohoo!
My favorite weekends of the year. I love it's almost as fun as the NAMM show. Let's see, Jen, when are you going? Boo, when you next weekend?
Next weekend.
She's so pissed you guys that Beyonce dropped out.
Oh my God.
You have no idea. Lady Gaga's alright. She ain't no Queen Bee.
Nope, not at all.
It's just what I want to do. Go choke on dust for a weekend. Watching a bunch of 22-year-old girls cosplaying being a freaking hippie.
Yes.
That sounds awesome.
Yes.
Stoked about it. Let's see. Flat Top Friday. We did that little small Martin last week. It was pretty cool. That went right away. Let's do another one. Slightly different model. Why don't you guys come back, see what we got this week. Let's see, this guy's from 1955. We have the Martin 015 in original mahogany finish. Love these guitars, man. This is kind of a base level model. This is kind of the entry model into Martin's guitars. They still make these. They don't make an O size anymore. I think they just do a double O, a triple O, and they've added a D, which on the new ones, that's kind of where you start into the professional series of American-made Martins. This was kind of their student model back at the time. The one we did last week was the 18, which would be the mahogany back and sides with the spruce top. This one is all mahogany with the mahogany top, which really warms up the guitar a lot. Takes a lot of the top end away, but in a good way. They're nice and rich, mellow sounding. They record incredibly well. They don't get overly boomy in the mix. They just sit there perfectly, throw a good mic on it, and they're the perfect amount of everything in the mix. This one's in pretty good shape. I mean, it's got some play wear on it and stuff. The thing's freaking 60-some years old. We just got the guitar. Joel just did a neck set on it, so it's got a nice, fresh, tall saddle on it there. The action's nice and low. This thing is going to be good to go, for another few generations. Can we talk about neck sets really quick? I don't know if we've ever really had a discussion about neck sets, especially on Martin guitars. And for a lot of you who aren't vintage guitar enthusiasts, you might not even know about what the neck sets are. So Martin guitars, vintage Martin guitars, have truss rods, but they don't have adjustable truss rods. They have a rod in there which kind of keeps stability, but unlike the Gibson or the Fender guitars where you can give it a twist and make it come back up, you can't adjust Martin rods. Martin truss rods became adjustable in the mid-'80s is when they started doing adjustable rods. So when you start getting action issues on old Martin guitars, there's really only two solutions. One, you can heat press the neck, which you put it on a heating plane, you heat it up, and you try and get it to just bend back where you want it. And the second thing you would do if the action gets high is you just start to shave down that saddle right there. You take a little bit off, it brings it down, you take a little bit off, it brings it down, until you get to the point where you can't bring it down anymore. That's where the neck set comes in. So what has to happen, they'll normally take a fret off, shoot some steam into here to loosen up that glue joint and physically remove the neck. It can then get cut back, repositioned and saddled so you can put a nice tall saddle on it again, and the action will be low, so then you can then start the process of shaving down from the saddle again. Yes, that makes a guitar non-original. It's one of those things, it's like a necessary evil. 99.999% of all Martins will have to have a neck set at some point. And almost all Martins that haven't had a neck set would benefit from having a neck set. What do I mean by that? As you start to shave this saddle down, what you lose is this pitch. If you see how tightly that downward angle coming off the saddle down into the bridge plate, that's where you get a lot of tone and a lot of volume. As this saddle starts to come lower and lower and lower, that break angle becomes less and less and less and less and less until the point where you start to lose volume and you start to lose tone. Once you get the neck set done and you get that tall saddle back on there, you get that break angle back, you get the tension on the strings, and thus you get the tone and the volume. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people aren't aware of that. If you're buying vintage guitars online, you better ask about that, because you might think you're getting a good deal, and then all of a sudden you're spending another $500 or $600 having the neck reset. Here at Norm's, on all the Martin guitars that we get in, Joel just does a neck reset. We do it as a value-added service. All the guitars out on the floor, if they haven't already had a neck set, we do the neck set. So that's just a little thing on neck sets. If you don't know, now you know. Why don't we go out front? Let's hit this thing with the flat pick. We'll give it the old tickle with the fingers. We'll see what this thing can do. All right, we're out front. We have the 1955 Martin 015. We're going to start off with the flat pick here, hit it kind of hard, then we'll switch to the fingers in a little bit here. See what it does with the pick. Cool, let's ditch the flat pick. Let's switch to the fingers. Let's see how the more subtle soft side of this thing comes out when we get a little bit more delicate with the right hand. There you have it from 1955. Got original Martin 015 All Mahogany. Top, back, sides, neck, rosewood fingerboard, and bridge. Just a simple dot inlay. That's your Flat Top Friday for this week. Hey, follow me on Instagram at Mark Agnesi. Follow the store at Norman's Rare Guitars. Check this and the rest of these guitars out online at normansrareguitars.com. We'll see you guys tomorrow for one final episode of Guitar of the Day for the week. Spoiler alert, it's freaking Saturday. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.